This is Mentally Dope. Join us, Charmaine and Jasmine, two Black licensed therapists, as we build a bridge between mental health and Black culture. Come on, it's gonna be dope.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
It's Mentally Dope. I'm Charmaine. This is Jasmine. Guys, okay. So today, we're talking about...
We are doing Deliver Us from Eva.
Yes, one of Jasmine's favorite movies. I love this movie.
I was say, it's not one of your top?
It is, because I love all of the actors and actresses in this movie.
And we have good performances. I don't know who the director was, but they were just like... Everybody was funny.
There was a couple parts that I have questions for the director about, but we'll put that in the questions that need answers part, because... Yeah. Okay. And is. So guys, if you have not seen Deliverance from Eva...
Yeah, what is it about?
If you have not seen Deliverance from Eva, it is a culture spin on Shakespeare's Taming the Shrew. We're talking about an older sister who is Eva, played by Gabrielle Union, and she has three younger sisters, Karina, Bethany, and Jackie, who are Essence Atkins.
You see us knowing names. You see how we know names now.
Yeah, see, you said it. Now I'm gonna get messed up. But their names were Karina, Bethany, and Jackie. And so they have this issue. Well, I won't say issue. They went through a situation where their parents died when they were younger. Eva, being the older, kind of sort of takes on the caretaker role for the siblings, and we see them. What we would begin to talk about, like how that trauma created a level of codependency, some enmeshment. We'll go into these words, and then how the dynamic of these sisters into their adulthood and how it's affecting them as a whole and also affecting their relationships.
As
and
a unit,
maybe
yeah.
It affects them in their relationships.
Dysfunction.
Function.
Function?
No, conjunction. Function. What's your function?
Which junction? The wrong junction, but dysfunction.
Yes,
Dysfunction junction.
Okay. So first, let's talk about just the fact that the big part is that the fact that their parents died. I'm not even sure if it says like how they died. It just says that their parents...
Car accident.
Okay. So parents died when they were younger, and then Eva, who was also not an adult,
or maybe she was the only adult, maybe, like technically, like, a legal adult is not really a mental adult, emotionally ready adult. And so I don't know. I don't think they said an actual age, but I think she's probably still in the teens somewhere, whether even that was like 16 to 19.
Yeah. So she like takes on this role of becoming the caretaker. And so we talk about family systems. So we have a mother and a father who are there, but when the mother and the father leave the system, someone else steps into that role.
Suddenly, yeah.
And it becomes Eva. She's not asked, she's not volunteering, she is placed into this role.
Thrust into this role.
Also in the midst of her own trauma, because those were her parents as well too.
Yeah.
So can't really grieve too much or go into my own place. I have to go into taking care of my siblings.
Yeah. This is all assuming this was a healthy, normal, functional family dynamic before, right? So even if that happens and then you have something big and gigantic, especially like grief during those years, especially. I always say that's my theory. There's probably research to back it up, but like big things happening in those years of like late teenagehood to young adulthood are pivotal. They change things.
Yeah.
They do something different to our brain. But for that to happen during that timing and then not have a chance to grieve, not have a chance to like do your own work, we get to see Eva, how she's portrayed.
Yeah.
Which is...
You know what you want to call it.
She is not a person you want to be around. She is not a person you really want to be friends with unless you're on her good side, unless you were on her team. If you are not, probably
And by
not.
team, she didn't really have a team. She only had her sisters. She didn't really have friends. She didn't she wasn't cool with people at work.
She had the beauty salon people, maybe.
Yeah, maybe them. But she became what the stereotypical angry Black woman. And one of the things that I struggle with the angry Black woman is that there's always roots to that. Most people just like wake up angry and like I want to go, terrorize the world. Like something happened to her to
But what
become
did they
this way.
mean when they said the angry Black woman? Because she was
I mean,
not assertive, but maybe aggressive.
yes,
Because she
she
was
has an
outspoken.
attitude. But so in the sense of Eva, though, we see some of her angry tendencies, and we see them that they're actually protective factors. She does these things. She pushes people away. She has attitudes. She overexerts herself in areas where she knows may not be the best. She even like makes a comment about the fact that she wanted to be a horse trainer, but that was not something that
Loved
paid.
horses.
Yeah, that didn't pay the bills. So getting a job with the city paid the bills. She became a health inspector, which no disrespect to anybody with that position, but you can tell that that was not her dream position, and it wasn't anything that she was super proud of when it came to certain people. If you were beneath her, then her job was amazing. But if she like didn't feel like that, then she had to find ways to overexert herself. So she talked fast. She was rude to people. She was snippy. She like did all these things as ways to protect herself. I'm gonna create this bubble of I'm
Definitely.
indestructible. You're not gonna mess with me because this is how I protect me.
Yes. But even thinking about it, like the first thing that we see when we meet Eva is her being maybe like mean to people, cruel to people, and that's all that people see, right? Like it's very hard to get on the inner stuff that's going on with her. And then you think about, we'll say that she's like 18 or 19, right? An 18 or 19-year-old who doesn't know the world, doesn't know the way things work, has to get things done, and is just making it up on their own, has to cultivate some skills to make that happen.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't be what I should be. I can't be like crying or like scared or sad.
Right.
I got 3 kids now.
But she's cultivating skills that are useful, which
Yeah.
is talking fast to confuse people, right? Like you said, because then people won't ask you questions. They'll be intimidated by you.
Using bass in your voice because like that's gonna work with them.
Exactly, not backing down, not even really caring about how other people feel because you have to get a thing done and there's no time for the rest of that,
Yes.
right? Like these are, like you said, protective, but even like tactics to get things done, and they grow out of necessity. And we'll see later in the movie how necessity changes. The things that she needed in order to make stuff happen before shifts a little bit.
Yeah.
And people are trying to figure out what to do with Eva now.
Yeah, but that's so the part about that is that she had kind of sort of she went into survival mode. This is what I need to do in order to survive, and we see that also happen with the dynamic of her and her sisters because they all went into a sense of survival mode that created a codependency on each other.
Speak on the codependency.
So one of the things that, and if you have not watched our previous video on codependency about what we're talking about, it kills me. Yes,
I believe so.
Yes, we'll link that one in this video. But we talk about codependency, and it's not just loving someone or depending on someone. Intimacy and love feels safe. Codependency is normally based out of fear. And so their relationship a lot of times was like based out of fear. We have to be here with each other. We have to be around each other,
Or we're not going to survive.
Yes. It comes out of that fear of abandonment after their parents have died.
Right.
And they created the survival mode between the 4 of them that started to become unhealthy.
Right. How did we know it was unhealthy? Why is this not just like oh, it's cool. Like, things happen. Families grow closer after something tragic happens.
So, I mean, there were certain things for me that were definitely red flags. I think they should be red flags for a lot of people. But for one, I feel like that Eva felt threatened by the men in her sister's lives. And therefore, she was extremely disrespectful because she wanted to get rid of them. You guys can't be too close to them because then how are you going to need me?
Yeah, there was a position that she had in the family
Yes.
that she needed to maintain.
Yes.
Right? Like, I am here. You guys are here. We all have our assigned roles. This is where I feel comfortable and safe. Anybody else who comes in and tries to break up those assigned roles, like we talked about before, if we've seen that video, what is it, Soul Food? Where we talk about all the family dynamics. But anybody who comes in and tries to break that up is going to get the bully side, right? The protector shows up in Eva very much.
Yeah.
And every single
But I
husband,
think
fiance, boyfriend.
But we see this,
gets
and
it.
you've seen it as a bully. But I think that it was really out of her own fear. I don't need you guys coming in trying
Well,
to
what's the
replace me.
underlying factor of a bully? Bullies are scared. They
Scared.
want to protect their own
Yes.
stuff, and they do that by being over aggressive, right?
Yes. So she had a fear of, I don't need you guys coming in trying to replace me. this is my spot,
This
like
is
you
where
were
I gain
saying.
value. This is how I'm valued in this family. You're not going to come in and change that.
Yeah.
Instead
So
of there being enough for everyone, right? Like you said, codependency is out of fear. And love is safety, and connection is safety, and all of these things. It is like there's not enough for everyone, so I need to be fearful over the little that I have and protect it to my last, versus there's enough for everyone. We all have something. We can open our hearts. Like we all have room, right? That's the difference of the underlying motivation,
yeah, 100%.
which that's where it turns to unhealthy.
And that's where it also turned into the red flags of like she was disrespectful as I don't know what to these men. We'll talk about that in a second, but God dog, she was
We'll
disrespectful.
go over to that.
So she was disrespectful. We see the different dynamics between the relationships of the sisters, where like even when Eva wanted to date, the sisters was like, "Wait, you want to do what?" Like they needed her in that role as well. So it was like this like
Say that. They had a hard time with her dating. She had, I don't know how hard of a time she had with them, but when she was like moving out of her role, trying to get to LL Cool J, what is his name? Jay?
Ray.
Ray. Jay. I was calling Jay. LL just ages just like fine wine. But anyway, and like trying to break out of that role, they were just like you could almost see. That's how I know this is probably written by somebody who's like been through this, because I could kind of see it. You almost see like everybody getting tense, everybody being like, "No, that's not what we do. No, we
What does
can't
that
do
mean?"
that."
Yeah.
Yeah, like something's gonna change. Like everybody's kind of on eggshells because things are changing or shifting.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads us to, we talked about codependency. We're also going to talk about another layer of that, which is enmeshment, which I feel like we could do a whole nother video on, because I see it a lot in the Black community, because these are the things that come out of survival. We have to survive. We need to shift the way things look in order to survive, and it's not always healthy.
Yeah.
Right? So enmeshment, which was happening a lot with this family, is basically like when the line between you and the next person in your family is blended. You don't know where you begin and that person ends at all.
Yeah.
So if your parent is feeling away, then we all feel that way.
Yeah.
If you're feeling away, then everybody in the room has to feel that way, right? Like it is just blurry lines, and we all have to do things together. There's no ability for individuality.
Yeah, and one of the other hard things that I see a lot in our families is when the enmeshment blurs lines of roles. We don't even
Absolutely.
know what a mother is, because the mother is now also multiple different things. We don't know what the role of a sister is, because the sister is now multiple different things. The brother is now multiple different things, and we can't divide those up, which is also why we have a lot of issues with I'm mad at my brother for having a girlfriend, because she's crossing the line that I'm in, which like not even in like a sexual way, but just like in the line of like
A role
that's
that I
my,
play, right?
yeah, that's
Safety,
my
comfort, companion, all of
we
those
see that a
things.
lot with like mothers who get mad about their sons or like whoever dating people, because it's like, no, that's my role. There's not a clear divide in between these.
Exactly. Or even like in the movie, what's the baby's name? What's Megan Good's name?
Jackie.
Jackie. When after Eva and Ray had their whole little falling out, and then they kind of get together, and Jackie hears about it. She says, "But I thought we didn't like him."
Yeah.
Right?
We agreed.
We agreed. This is how we feel about this situation, instead of, you have your own opinions. You're your own person. You can feel how you feel. We don't even have to agree on how we feel. Right? And for families that struggle with enmeshment, it is like nobody's allowed to have a different opinion.
Yeah.
That is seen as wrong, some level disrespectful. It's a whole nother Black thing we can do, but like there's no individuality. That is wrong.
Yeah.
And everybody in the family works hard to make sure that everybody is in the same boat. We all feel the same way. We all do the same way. We all operate in the same way, because this is how it goes.
Yeah, and we saw that a lot in the movie, and that's another reason why we knew that it was wrong, because whatever Eva said, they followed down behind it. Eva was like,
Can we talk about the money?
But like even for like one, Karina was a doctor. You're a doctor. Your husband is a doctor. Eva's giving you medical advice, and whatever she says, everybody's like, "Yep, that's what it is."
But why though?
Like whatever Eva said, everyone was like, okay. And so like the men would get upset, and they were like, okay, who said that? Eva said that, because like they knew that if their wife comes to them and says, well, I don't think that we should do this. Okay, so Eva said that we can't do this.
Instead of it being their own opinions, right? There's nothing wrong with what they're actually saying and what they're
Yes.
making happen. It's more that they're not thinking about it for themselves. They're only thinking Eva is the number one authority, and whatever she says goes, and I don't have feelings or opinions or wants or needs outside of that. And that's a problem.
Yeah, which actually leads to the plot of the movie, because the more that the men were able to get Eva out of the situation, the more that they were actually able to see the opinions of their women. The more that Eva was gone, Karina wanted kids. The more that Eva was gone, Bethany didn't mind her boyfriend staying over. The more that Eva was gone, Jackie was in there loving and cuddling on her her husband. But when Eva was there, suddenly we don't have minds of our own, and we just want to do whatever it is that she says.
But the thing is, right, that was Eva's energy, right? She is rigid, she is straight and narrow, she's very much by the rules. She's not very playful. She does not like to have fun. And you can tell when she comes around, everybody like stiffens up. Everybody's like doing their Eva thing.
Yeah.
And that changes things, right?
But that was the hard thing too, because you saw for her that being playful was equal to being vulnerable. So if I let down my survival mode and I start playing with you and joking with you, you're gonna hurt me, and I don't have time for that because I got stuff to do. Survival mode.
Yeah, but it doubles back to the codependency too, right? She was not allowed to be a child or do the messing up, the messiness that happens when you're like, in your, early 20s, all that stuff. The stuff that happens that's just messy and doesn't make any sense and you make a lot of mistakes. She didn't have the luxury to do that, which also meant my needs don't matter. I have to put them somewhere and not look at them again.
Yeah.
And so I can't even access this part now that we're here and things are safe enough. It's hard to get to what does play look like?
Yeah, it feels foreign.
Like, she probably feels guilty about going horse riding, right? She said that, though. She said, well, I feel bad that I'm making you come and pay for this horseback riding because I never get to do this. Instead of like, this is a thing that I like to do, and I should be able to have time to do the things I like to do.
Yeah. So even that, like, how
I relate.
Yes, like that relatable moment of I shun myself for wanting to play because play is not what I'm used to. That is not going to the list of who I am as a survivor.
It has no value. It does not give me money. It does not make sure that everybody's safe. It does not protect this, bucket of money that we have. So,
yeah.
So go to the money. Tell us about the money.
So then we see, which is Dwayne Martin character's Mike. He's like continues to bring up. They have a Dandridge fund, which is the girls, the Dandridge sisters, and they have a fund that I'm not sure what the initial money started with. If it started like from like parents' money or whatever, but it says that they've been like putting money into the fund for years, and there wasn't like really a clear like thing of like what they were doing.
I thought it was just like when they died. It's
yeah,
like
it was
not
like
a settlement.
But it was like a security thing that they had. They had a security thing of money, but we identified that the money created a level of attachment. And the money connected them. Yeah,
like
it connected
the
them.
money was almost like a character in the show.
Yes.
Right? Like to figure out how things are going in the show, in the movie, we had to look at the money and see what was going on. Are we talking about it? What's going on with the funds? What's going on with the account? Eva has the account. We're going to, we're saving it for this and we're doing it for this. And it's almost like throwing the account around meant, like, I don't know how to put it into words. Yes, attachment, but it meant more than that.
Yeah.
It was like a living, breathing thing. Like it almost was like their parents. The money was their parents of just like, that's how valuable it was.
Yeah. So then we see, like the plot of the movie, we see the guys who get fed up with their current situation of loving these women but can't stand in how Eva is affecting them, and they decide we're going to come together and we're going to plot to find Eva a man, but not just any man to date her, because they tried that. They sent that man,
shoot him up, spit him out. He was traumatized.
Yeah,
okay,
to traumatize that man.
When he saw that picture,
he said, "Wait a minute, my joke." He said that they bought Eva a cross with Jesus on it, and the next day Jesus was gone. Like, listen, so the men decide to get Ray, who they see out one time, like finessing these two women, and they ask Ray, "Can we pay you?" They're paying this man $5,000. Can we pay you? The struggle is real, y'all. So we are paying you to not only take Eva out, get her to fall in love with you, then leave her. Like, it goes completely destructive. It's not just fall in love with her. It's like to get her to leave, to like break her heart, like
Yeah,
to
they
do.
want revenge.
Yes,
Like,
it was like deeper than just like get her out of our hair. Like they had like a full like plot scheme to like permanently get rid of her.
yeah.
So then Ray comes into the picture. Eva meets Ray.
Oh, fine, self.
Ray does what he does. He gets into Eva's head a little
He
bit.
finesses, which really, I don't know. I think some of it was him just being himself too. Some of it was a finesse.
Because I think that like he saw her and it was a challenge, but there was also a part of him, I think that he needed that. There was a part of him that was yearning for that. He was yearning for someone who was going to challenge him in a way that other women had not challenged him.
Okay.
And then that's what happens.
And so, well, it was the baked beans, though. It was the baked beans.
I mean, it was more than that. When she first,
I know, but
when she first, when, like,
that
you know,
was the first
first
little
seeing him
sprinkle.
at the church. I mean, he was at church, even though he really was not at church.
Yeah, but who showed up then? Protection. She's
Yes.
not having.
But
none of it.
but she like looked at him and she was like, he fine.
But what does that mean to Eva?
Yeah.
She just like, okay, fine, man, everywhere. What's that got to do with me?
But you could tell that she like at least like
Gave her knees.
gave him a little look and was like, where he come from? I'ma stare at him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we have protection, and then we go to the barbecue, and everybody is the beans are hot.
Which, listen to this also. Maybe this should be a question too.
That whole scene is just.
But Eva makes beans at every barbecue that nobody can eat. Which I have two questions. Why do you keep making them when you know that can't none of the men handle them? And then two, why do they keep eating them? Y'all know who made these beans?
But why are you a menace? Why are you showing up and choosing violence at the barbecue? Why are you doing
You
that?
know, she woke up in the morning and says, I choose violence today.
But literally, but that's another part of it. She's trying to be like, just so y'all know, y'all not taking my place. Nobody can make these beans like I can make these beans.
But not even that. She literally says it separates the boys from the men. So I'm also gonna let you know, sister, your man ain't no real man. Your husband is a little boy because he can't have the hot food.
Oh, okay.
Who says that?
Choosing violence. She woke up and chose violence. I want everybody to know on today, I'm still that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? This is intense.
Who's challenging you?
Right.
Hunger Games? Okay.
We just trying to be a family. We just trying to eat.
Yes. So then Ray comes.
And he's like, ooh, these some good beans.
Yeah.
You put your foot in there or something like that. He's feeling it.
And he's feeding her head up to maybe this box that I've made that only real men can eat these beans. And look at me. There's a real man in front of me.
And Ray doesn't know what he's done.
Yes.
So
They go out. They have a whole lot of ups and downs. They fall in love. Ray is put on an
Something like
assignment. And she gets to him.
and low key, she cracks him open. Because I think they both needed to be cracked open. It wasn't just her. Why is that funny? It's so thing that people say cracked open like a coconut or something. Like literally, she's
Okay.
like she's asking him questions, like personal questions, and they have like kind of similar backgrounds, and that he's a runner,
Yeah.
right? Like he said his mom died.
Yeah. He's an orphan. So he moves.
He's an orphan.
So he moves from like city to city every couple of years because he has no ties. And he doesn't want to create ties because ties for him creates unsafety.
Exactly. And he's a runner, and she talks about that openly with him, and she's like, yeah, that's I'm kind of the same. We're in the same situation, and it feels like it got deep quick.
But I think that we also seen multiple situations where they provided each other with a level of safety in multiple situations. Whether it was with him, whether it was like the bike ride, and whether it was when she ran into her ex at the party, and like you know him like continuing to like cultivate this area of like, I'm here and I got you, and that was like what she needed just to like sink into that of like, oh
To know the safety.
yeah,
There is
I can pull off this
safety.
mask that I've created, and this feels safe to me. Until it didn't, because of course y'all know in true fashion it's gonna blow up in your face when they find out that it was a lie.
Somebody
And-
paying you to date
yeah,
somebody.
and then
This
of
is not
course
gonna work.
the guys did not know what they was doing. Once again, I don't know. World's dumbest criminals got to be on like standby for this because not only
I'm just saying, even went wrong about everything.
yes, yeah, they wasn't the brightest. There was a few French fries short that they decided to say that Ray died. They had a full funeral for this man and everything.
But I don't understand. You already paid $5,000 down. How much more does it cost to have a fake funeral? Y'all got that kind of money? Y'all could have just paid for Eva's ticket to another to where she was gonna move anyway. What are we doing?
let the Lord work, because the girl had a job opportunity that she was going to take.
But that was the issue. They said, well, she might not take it because of Ray. He's the issue.
But
so
if they
need
had
to do
never
this.
hired Ray, she would have went to Chicago. So,
They was tired.
yeah.
I don't know.
So like all of that, talking about like the shifting of the family system, because we even saw that when Eva did say, I have a job opportunity in Chicago, the family system went into like fear mode, because if she leaves, what happens to us? And we talk about this a lot on here, but also like, in our own practices, that when you have a family system, a friendship system, anything, you are a part of a system. You always are. And when one person shifts, the entire thing shifts.
It has to.
You don't get to create a boundary or to move or to do anything like that and think that you're not going to affect the entire system. It just happens. You don't mean to all the time, but it's literally going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's got to.
So even with Eva saying, I'm going to choose myself and take this job into Chicago, the whole family is going to shift because something's missing from it. Whether it's physically or just like the fact
emotionally,
that,
whatever function it played. It had every person, every role. Like they all have a role.
We even saw a family shift when Eva was dating. Because now we're shifted, where we used to be on the phone all the time, where I used
Eva
to be
wasn't
able to
as
call
present.
you. Yeah.
She was not in the, she didn't go to the salon that one time and everybody was having a hard time.
And I think that's the hard thing, that like when we make shifts for ourselves that could be great, do them, but also be aware.
But there's
it's gonna shift.
It's gonna have consequences.
Yeah.
Like, all consequences are not bad, but it just is going to have consequences. Those consequences are really neutral, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a shift that everybody needed. The sisters needed to find who they were without Eva.
Yes.
Individually.
Yes.
They needed that, but they couldn't have done it if she did not shift.
Yeah.
If she would have been coming and taking up as much space as she was taking on a regular, daily basis, walking in on you and your boo thing and not batting an eye.
Baby, the disrespect was real, y'all.
Right. We needed boundaries. We needed separation. This is healthy for everybody.
Yeah.
Even if it's hard. Both things can be true. The thing that you're doing can be hard and still good for you.
Yes.
And
needed
healthy.
and effective and all of those
and
things.
necessary. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then one of the key things I also want to point out too is that we see that what didn't work for Ray, where Ray thought that he was going to be able to come in and pull off this devising plan, and even where him and Eva had a conversation and he admitted to having pain, and she said, well, you just built a bridge over it, which I thought is the same thing that Eva tried to do. Just like build a bridge over the pain, which doesn't work. It sounds nice, but the pain is still there.
It's the problem that Eva and Ray have had this whole time, is that you can grow a lot and still not have healed a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you break a leg and you don't heal it properly. You can still get up and move around and make stuff happen, but you might be doing it with a limp.
Yeah.
Right? And Eva and Ray are like limping through life trying to figure some stuff out when they could heal it and just learn how to walk again well.
Yeah. J. Cole said, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. All right, so now I want to get to the point where we say questions that need answers. Like, y'all, comment and let us know some questions that you feel like need answers. Or if you have answers to these questions, please let us know. First question that I have to know, this is my question for the director, because I don't understand.
Why?
The intro, y'all, if you've seen this movie, there's an intro at the beginning of them in like this 50s, 60s theme, and like they're in like these swing dresses and they're dancing to like a Motown record. I don't understand. Like, why?
What's the point exactly?
Don't know.
What did you want to tell us?
Don't know.
I can't figure it out.
No.
Questions that need answers. Let's see. Why didn't the women just move into the kitchen for the book club and let the men stay in the living room? Like, why did they have to have a turf war over all of this stuff and everybody be disrespected and be chaos when y'all got several rooms in the house?
Okay, so let me explain. At the beginning of the movie, the women are having book club in the kitchen. They're making food in the kitchen. The men are watching the game in the living room where the TV is, and then Eva says, "I want the living room," and then it becomes an issue. Why couldn't they just have book club in the kitchen?
It's barely an issue because literally everybody's like, well, men, you have to move. Eva said what she wanted to say.
Yes.
My God, Eva don't even live here.
Yes.
That's not even her house.
And they don't need the TV. The guys watching the TV need the TV.
Exactly.
But where they end up? At the club. I mean at the bar. Yeah, because you know what Eva said.
Plotting against you. See,
Okay.
you gotta be nice to people. But anyway.
Yeah. So Bethany, the sister, middle sister, Bethany has a beauty shop. We ain't never seen nobody get their hair done.
Did anybody get their hair done?
I want to throw it out there.
They had combs and they was just combing. That's all they did.
Yeah. I think that there was like 2 scenes where like Karina had like a shower cap on her head. I'm pretty sure her hair was done under the shower cap. They was like put it on for like special effects. But nobody was actually getting their hair done.
Okay. And the hair was good. I don't know what was going on. It's 90s, it's 2000s.
They did have some good hair.
The hair was doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. The budget was there.
I don't know how early we were into his career. Terry Crews was an extra. He had no words.
I had no idea about
He had
this.
no words. He didn't say anything. He was just the bartender that turned around.
Did he
and
not say anything?
And did this every now and then.
Yeah. Why? I mean, I guess Terry Crews wasn't who he is today.
But it was still like something that they were like zooming in on his face though.
Yeah.
So
he has a very distinctive face. Like you're not gonna forget that face.
So I don't know.
Okay.
That was weird. Another question that needs answers. Listen, like, and I need you guys to count with me. I need to like, we like put this on the screen.
Give us
so
a
like
count.
how many times that you saw.
When you rewatch, can you count for us? Or every time you see this happen, take a drink.
It's literally like watching like the little like things with like which one is different. Like circle the scenes. Tim. Karina's husband pulls off his glasses and cleans his glasses at least 11 times in this movie. I've seen him, I don't know how many times, pull off his glasses and clean his glasses. Why were his glasses so dirty? Was that part of the script? I don't understand. Like, did the script say pull offs and cleans glasses again? Like, is that what the script was saying? I don't understand. Questions that need answers. Mel Jackson, tell me what was happening in this movie because I need to know.
Please. Go ahead.
My last one goes back to me saying that Eva was super disrespectful, but she would initiate these things. But then I thought this was just like went along with it. Mike comes in to the the beauty shop, and asks his wife or his girlfriend very quietly, "Do you got that thing for me?" I am literally being quiet and I'm saying thing because I want to be discreet. She pulls out this big packet of fiber powder and then announces to the whole beauty shop that this man is constipated. Like, why does everybody need to know that your man is constipated?
That's not doing your best. That's not doing your best for your mate. That's not doing your best.
The level of disrespect
and that you would
crazy.
set him up knowing that Eva is right there.
Yes, because you know she don't call him out.
Like it's just gonna take him
time
out.
Eva shoots like for real every
She shoots to kill.
time.
Let me tell you something. Eva don't play.
Y'all, the level of disrespect in this movie. Another time, I thought that she was so disrespectful when she bust in on Jackie and her husband about to get their groove on, their groove back, and she says, "Well, she'll come back in 2 minutes."
She didn't even flinch. Like, literally, she goes in, she says what she says, and then she gets closer. Like, y'all ain't finna do nothing now that I'm here. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Let's not. It's too much.
So y'all, listen. The red flags was red flagging.
And it's never, like I always tell my clients, it's never about the guy. It's never about the girl. It's never about the man. That's the reason why Ray didn't solve the problem. Ray wasn't ever going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Because it's never about the thing you think that it's about.
Yeah.
It's about what's deeper.
Yes.
What's underneath.
Yeah.
So as usual, go to therapy, do your own work, drink your water.
Yes. All that. Notice the red flags. Don't be disrespectful. Figure out what's going on underneath.
And it's easier to grow as a family. Like, however you do that. If you can get your family to heal with you, do it.
Yeah.
And if you can't, still do it anyway.
Yep. And shift the whole system by yourself.
Either way, it's a shift.
So, as always, if you guys are watching, please like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and follow with us next time on
Mentally Dope.
All right.
Bye, y'all.